When I do come, I'm gonna have an arsenal of entertainment. Okay, you ain't gonna do nothing, so I can get close to what I want. However you want it, that's how I'm gonna give it to you. I'm giving it to you just like you want it. I don't know who you beat, I don't know who you lost to. Easy work. Easy work.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego. Easy Work Wednesdays. I'm back. The gang's all here. It's a fight week. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. What's up, Matt? We got Ari in the building, Jay Stacks, Tank, Sura. What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
We good. I'm good.
I'm good, Ego.
Another fight week.
Yeah,
I'm well.
Let's jump right into it for the fans. I'm excited for this fight. Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. I guess I'll just straight away start predictions. We'll do it from the top, at least as my screen's showing. Matt, what are your initial thoughts and predictions on a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz?
I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. It might actually be better than the Teofimo Lopez Lomanchenko fight. I think, from everything I've been, it definitely is. So
in terms of two-way traffic, that I think so.
Exactly. I think, there's going to be some hands flowing before the end of the 7th round, unlike that other fight, right? So I totally think Gervonta is going to take it, probably 8th, 9th round KO, TKO. So I think that's what I'm going for. But I definitely, Leo's going to put in that work. So I'm not discounting Leo at all. But I just think Gervonta is another animal. And I think he's coming in real ready to fight this one.
Now I got a follow-up question for you. You're saying Tank maybe 8th, 9th, second half of the fight, basically. Leo's never been stopped. I don't remember where he's been dropped either. He might have been dropped. I remember it came close in the Frampton first fight. He kind of staggered back. Why are you picking Tank by stoppage since Leo hasn't been stopped? What makes you feel that Tank has what it takes to produce that?
So to that point, I really think Tank's got power that Leo's never faced. So everybody else Leo's faced, smaller guys, right? And obviously Gervonta is not a big guy, but I think he's got big man power, right? We don't compare him to Mike Tyson for no reason. Like, the dude is going to come in there and he's going to put a wallop on him. You see what you see in all the Showtime stuff. Gervonta is ready. They put him in this place, this 12-week camp. Like, I think they're coming in with a real game plan. They're going to soften him up. And then the later rounds, he's going to go down.
Fair enough. Ari, what are your initial thoughts, predictions? Let's go.
I have Tank Davis winning by TKO as well. I don't think Leo has the firepower to keep Tank Davis off of him for 12 rounds. I think the earlier rounds will be, they might have some good exchanges. I don't see Leo. Leo sometimes he likes to brawl too much. And if he does that with Tank, he's going to get knocked out quick. So, it all depends how long Leo can fight from the outside, box, move. So, like I said, I think TKO by the 7th round, the latest. But, it could be the 5th. It just depends how long Leo could box and not exchange with Tank.
Okay, Leo Santa Cruz, he's much taller than Tank. Do you think Leo Santa Cruz fights tall?
He doesn't. That's the problem. Leo likes to brawl sometimes, so he doesn't fight tall. He likes to brawl, and I feel like, the sooner he likes to brawl, the sooner he's gonna get knocked out. So that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I said I don't think he has the firepower to keep Tank off of him, because Tank is gonna just walk him down. Let's remember also that Leo is moving up from 126. He is moving up weight. Even though, like you guys were saying, Tank is not a big guy, but he got big man power in both hands. So, I see it by TKO.
Just for the clarification for the audience too, his last fight was at the same weight class. He fought the Flores dude on the Wilder Luis Ortiz 2 undercard. I was at that fight, so I definitely remember that. He didn't look that great. He said he was sick or something like that, but that was at the same 130 weight class. But he is new to the division, as Ari is saying. All right, my man Jay Stacks, prediction, initial thoughts, impressions.
Like I said, I've told you this more than once. Tank by KO by the 9th round. And the reason why, it's the exact reason why Loma didn't get knocked out. Santa Cruz is a volume puncher, so he's gonna let his hands go. When you let your hands go, you leave yourself susceptible to get hit. Tank hits hard, real hard, so he's gonna knock him out.
Do you think Leo has who's the better boxer?
We're not sure. We never really seen Tank box, but when you hear Floyd talk about him, Tank can box. He just doesn't. He never had to. I think he's gonna come in there boxing, but he still hits hard. So you can't get caught with a shot. And when you're letting your hands go, there's 90% of the time you're gonna get caught with a shot.
So Tank's too explosive, basically, and too strong,
Yeah.
too powerful.
He's too strong, too explosive. He has great footwork. Like, he's been in there, like, yo, when he was in there with Gamboa should have went down way earlier than he did. But
what about the fact that Leo Santa Cruz never been stopped before, and he hasn't been dropped like Amir Khan? He ain't been dropped a gang of times.
Okay, I get that. But has he been hit by somebody who hits as hard as Tank?
What do you guys think? I'm trying to think. Leo's best names: Abner Mares. He don't hit as hard as Tank. I wouldn't say.
But I'm talking about like a clean hit. Like, yo, everybody. What Mike Tyson said. Yo, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Fact.
Like, yo, he gets punched in the mouth. Like, Tank hits hard, and everybody knows it, and they think, oh, just like Teofimo. Whenever you think about Teofimo versus Loma, everybody said, oh, the power versus the skilled boxer. No, Tank is a skilled boxer too. He has a good amateur record too. He can box, but he hasn't had to, and he's left-handed, which creates the problem.
That's a good point. The southpaw stuff. No, you can keep going. I'm just saying that's a good point. Like,
no, but but it is what it is. That's why I think he's gonna get knocked out. But here's my thing. Like, I give Leo the fact that he has heart most of the time, so he'll probably try and fight Tank again. But like, I think was it you? It was you or one of the other channels I watched talking about Tank came out and said this is his weight. Like 130 is his natural weight. It's like he moved up to 135. Yes, he's good at it, but he's 5'5". Leo Santa Cruz is only 5'7". They're not that much different. But Tank knows how to position himself. And he doesn't do it the way like Loma does it, where you jump in and out. No, Tank will walk you down and he'll position himself where he can get his shots off and he has good defense.
All right. Sura, with the same question that we've been going through.
I see, I know leopards don't change their stripes, but I think Leo do his best impression to change the stripes. You don't want to run into that power. Tank is like a damn Tasmanian devil, dude. Shit. I don't know. I think Leo gonna change the stripes. I think he's gonna box a bunch until eventually, like I said, the person gonna knock Leo out is gonna be himself. If he gets reckless and try to run in there on Tank, then Tank will clip him, and Tank a monster. Tank try to kill you. He's destructive. So I think Leo gonna end up knocking. If Leo get knocked out, it's gonna be to his own doing. I think he's gonna try to box Tank as much as he can, because he can box a little bit after what he did with Frampton. But Tank is a different monster, so I think if he does get knocked out, he's going to get himself knocked out. I think he's going to try to force Tank to lead. And he forced Tank to lead, he's going to try to play counter-puncher for a little bit. So we see how it goes. If I gotta take my guess, I think it's going to go all 12 because Leo's going to box. But if Leo knocks himself out, I think it's going to go around 8 rounds.
Now, I got a question for the whole panel, one at a time. Let me get the whole question out. In Lomanchenko's fight with Teofimo, and I know they're different fighters, he kind of sold out and he wasn't willing to go out on his shield, in my view. For 7 rounds, he kind of played it real safe when he seen what he was up against. Based on Leo Santa Cruz being a Mexican-American warrior, what he showed us in the past, does Leo have so much pride? Do you think Leo Santa Cruz has so much pride where he's willing to go out on his shield? Kind of like Gervonta. Gervonta was willing to get knocked out versus Charlos. That's how I perceived it. He was fighting where he was losing, his eyes were getting sunk in, but he had so much heart, that heart kind of carried him to the 12th round instead of getting knocked out. So is Leo going to put on more of a Gervonta performance where he's willing to get knocked out by coming forward and throwing punches, or is he going to do kind of what Lomachenko did, which is hesitate and get gun shy when he starts feeling that power, and do kind of like Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, where he kind of just survives, but he goes 12. Does Leo have so much heart where none of that matters and he's just going to come forward? Or when he starts tasting that power, he's going to do like kind of like Mikey Garcia. I felt Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence was in there kind of to survive. He, after a certain place,
Can I respond real quick? And then I'll rebuttal. After I respond, I'm going to rebuttal with a question for you and Sword. Think about it. Leo Santa Cruz is known as a volume puncher. He throws more than 100 punches every round. Every fight I ever seen him do, it's 90 to 110 punches per round. Yeah, he's gonna go out on his shield, but that's it, like, because even after he get hit, he's gonna convert back to what he knows. He knows that if I put punches in bunches, I'd normally win. So I mean, why wouldn't you think that he would do it? Like, I mean, yeah,
it's not about if I think that, is I'm just posing the questions, you know, so we have a two-way conversation. It's not, this is not what I feel. I'm asking.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But why, like, yo, as anybody else, not you, like anybody else, why wouldn't they think Leah's not gonna throw punches? Like, yeah, he's willing to risk the knockout. Dude, whenever he gets to the point where he converts back to the things he knows,
yeah,
he's playing with danger. He's playing with fate because that's the person he is. He knows that normally when he throws 100 plus punches per round, he wins fights. Volume punches, because he keeps people from creating their offense.
Well, I got a rebuttal to your point. You say, why would anyone question it? I pose the question because you guys can't have your cake and eat it too and say that Leo has never faced the power of a Gervonta Tank Davis. So if you said he's always thrown 100 punches around, but then you also, everybody on the panel basically said Tank has the type of power that Leo has never faced. So with that being considered, if Leo has never tasted this type of power, then who knows how he's going to react if he gets hit. He might just say like, oh, damn, he ain't hitting like the other guys, and shell up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I was fighting other heavyweights. Hold on. Let's say I was fighting other heavyweights, and then I fight Deontay Wilder, and then Deontay Wilder cracks me with some shit I've never felt before. Then your reaction might not be the same as all them other fights because you fought Wilder. You just said, everybody said that Tank hit harder than anyone Leo's faced. So then who knows how Leo will respond to it if he, like, you know, cowers out or hesitates or whatever, gets gun shy because he's never faced that power.
I get everything you're saying, and you're absolutely correct. But being the person I am and knowing what I know, normally people convert back to what they know, what has always worked.
I get that.
Yes, he might get cracked, but he's like, yo, if I'm throwing, he's not throwing, which may not be true. And that's where he's setting himself up for failure. I think he will try and box him. That's why I said a ninth round knockout, because he's going to try and box from a distance in the beginning. But he's going to get cracked in the beginning, and then I think he's going to convert back to the things that's always worked for him.
And I get that, you know, people, they're creatures of habit. But my thing is this: if you never know how, no one wants to get knocked out. It takes a concerted effort to taste power from a menacing Jamal Charlo, Gervonta, Deontay Wilder, and try to push through that and you know, and not fold and just be like, okay, I'm willing to go out on my shield. So I'm just wondering, I know Leo, I'm not trying to question his heart. I know he has heart, and I'm picking Tank, by the way, also. I'm just asking the question, does Leo have so much heart where he tastes this menacing power that everyone's talking about, that hurt Ivan Redcash in sparring, that knocked out Pedraza, a guy Lomachenko couldn't knock out? And does he kind of, I hate to say it, but tuck his tail and just like play it conservative to not get knocked out? Like, man, okay, he's faster than I thought, his response time is quick, etc. And some guys do that because you have to fight like Derevchenko fought Jamal and be willing to just potentially get splattered in front of everybody on pay-per-view.
I think Leo is the type of fighter that he'll rather go out of his shield instead of just trying to survive for 12 rounds.
Okay.
You know, I do agree that he's going to come out and try to box, but, you know, like I said, he's not going to be able to keep Tank Davis off of him for 12 rounds. And by the time that he realizes that, you know, what Tank's power feels like, he's going to be on the floor already. he's gonna get hit, and he's
Wow.
gonna go down, and he's gonna be like, oh shit, and now I know what his power feels like. And then after that, yeah, he could try to avoid it, but Tank is just gonna keep on coming.
Fair. Hey, Tank, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I was just waiting to get a
Yeah,
chance
I
to chime
didn't
in.
forget about you. So
No.
what's your initial thoughts, impressions? Gervonta, Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, Showtime, pay-per-view. Who wins, how they win, all that good stuff. Tank, we asking you about Tank.
Man, I'm sorry about that. I got a phone call. I forgot to
Oh,
put
no,
my
you can take that. I'll
phone
skip.
up.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're ready to respond, I'm just asking your
Okay.
thoughts on the fight outcome.
My bad. Okay, so my initial thoughts are that it looks like it's going to be an action-packed, fan-friendly fight, just stylistically, just because of the way Leo fights, and we already know what Gervonta Davis brings to the table in terms of excitement and being fan-friendly. I think that Leo is going to want to come out here and use his legs um, and try to uh, fight moving inside, outside, get some licks in to look very active or be very active. He's like you said earlier, he's a taller fighter, so I think that he's going to want to like kind of make it look, at least to the judges and fans looking on, that he's towering over Gervonta at times and throwing punches and bunches, as they say. That way, whether he's winning a round or not, it looks like he's going to be winning rounds. I think that's kind of like the game plan that they're going to go after. I think that he's going to want to control the distance and space of this fight based on that power that Gervonta has that we all know about. So I think that's going to be like his focus going in, and I think that they're hoping that they can take Davis into these late rounds and try to tire him out and see if they can, kind of beat him on attrition. I think that it's not only Leo Santa Cruz, but a lot of these fighters that we're hearing out here, they're calling Tank Davis out by name because they think that they can exploit aspects of his game in terms of they want to know if he's really as dedicated to the sport as the predecessor Mayweather, contemporaries like Devin Haney, and they want to know. So a lot of these guys are calling them out because they're not sure, and that there's something that has to be said for that aspect, because if they have that in their mind going into these fights, maybe that's what they want to exploit. The problem with that is, on the flip side of that, is like everyone is pointing out, Gervonta Davis hits like a son of a bitch. So all your plans can go out the window once you get touched by this kid. And not only does he hit hard, but he has very, very high boxing skills. I forgot who pointed it out earlier, but we have not got a chance to see a lot of those skills on display for long periods of time. But if you go back and rewatch a lot of these fights, especially the Gamboa fight, which he gets a lot of slack for, you do actually get to see him utilize a lot of those skills in terms of when Gamboa was messing around. I guess he had a shoe malfunction, or they say he got injured or whatnot. Something was going on with his feet, but you can still see that the savvy
I
vet
think
in
that was
Gamboa.
Cap.
Me too. I think that if anything, it was something with the shoe, but that's whatever. But
No, yeah, I get they're saying that
at the
though.
time, yeah. At the time, I just rewatched the fight again because I wanted to see that fight again and see what was really going on in those middle rounds, because the narrative has always been that Gervonta got tired. And when I was looking at it again, I don't think he got tired as much as I think that he was trying to get rounds in, and also sometimes he was playing around, but sometimes he was just trying to cut off the ring and find his way in, because Gamboa, what he kept doing was jab, 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 try to get a couple shots in and hold. And I think that's what Leo is going to want to do. He's going to want to hit, hold, get out to the distance that he wants to fight in, and then try to drag the fight on. The problem with that is he's going to learn that Gervonta Davis is an awesome awesome body puncher. Leo Santa Cruz tends to fight with his head down when he gets into exchanges and starts throwing a lot of punches. He keeps his head down, so that's going to open up a puncher like Gervonta Davis, who's an excellent uppercut puncher, to get some shots in, whether it's to the stomach, to the head with these uppercuts, and how to stand them up. I see a lot of that happening. In terms of your other question about
hold on, I'm gonna jump in real quick because I got a question.
No sweat.
A couple questions to the whole panel. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and this is a freestyle, open-ended question from anybody on the panel. Tank's weight. A lot of old media has made up a lot of like rumors and lies and stuff. Is anybody worried about Tank making or missing weight?
Nah, I'm not. It's not just old media. I some of the new media saying that they think Tank wearing this hot suit too long, man. But he already he was at weight 2 weeks. He was at weight 2 weeks ago, and these cats are bringing this stuff up.
Yeah, I think people stubbornly cling to certain talking points, and even if those points change or like things change, they don't incorporate what's recent. You know what I mean? Like Tank has missed weight before or weighed in naked and stuff, but I was never really worried about him missing weight. Like, I just want to know from you guys.
To me, Tank's weight is not a problem. Like, they made the fight at 130. I don't know if it was you or somebody else. They made the fight at 130 because they thought he was going to miss weight. Tank ain't weight drained. He started camp early. You said, what was it, like a week ago when you said Tank was 134 point something?
Yeah, he was
Tank will probably get on the scale. Me personally, I think he's going to get on the scale probably like 129.7. And he's going to rehydrate. He's going to come into the fight 134, 135-ish.
Does anybody think this? What was that?
I was going to say, I don't think there's going to be a problem with the weight. And not only do I think it's not going to be a problem with the weight, from what I'm seeing so far, he looks comfortable. And that's
he don't
impressive.
look like a skeleton.
He doesn't look drained. He doesn't look like a skeleton.
I've seen it somewhere where he said that's his natural. 130 is his natural weight.
Yeah, I think the reason he came from Baltimore, there's a lot of distractions. Like what I mean is, I know he comes from Baltimore, but what I'm saying is trained in Vegas, is he left all the distractions. There's a lot of distractions. These fighters stay at home and have camps at home and stuff, good food spots about. People want to check in with your camp, want to go out, just different things like that. So I think he has a good team, a great team, and they're not going to allow him to like kind of cat off and, go to the abyss with. That's why he's in Vegas. I think Vegas was a good look and a good move. So he's under the supervision of, the Mayweather.
Yeah.
All his coaches are there. And then Leonard Ellenby.
Of what you said, I think Floyd told him to come to Vegas.
Because I think Floyd wanted him.
This is his first pay-per-view. Floyd is not going to let him miss weight.
I got
it looks bad on Mayweather promotion too.
Oh, of course. And Showtime and Steven Espinoza, and and he would have to pay some ridiculous fine. I'm imagining a lot of people who try scare tactics saying Tank was going to miss weight and stuff like that. I have a question for you. Has there in recent modern history been a main event on pay-per-view where the person missed weight and to the point where the fight was in jeopardy? Like, I can't think of one, like a pay-per-view. Can you guys think of anything?
Floyd, but he was willing to pay that little extra $300,000.
Marquez fight?
Yeah. But he did that intentionally. It wasn't that he couldn't make it. He just did it intentionally.
I don't know if he did it intentionally. He was on a 21-month layoff where after the Ricky Hatton knockout, he wasn't in the sport. So, he might have miscalculated.
Floyd a machine. And he walk around.
But think about it. I don't think there has been, because lately there's been no pay-per-views besides the Charlos and Errol Spence.
No, I mean in history, like last 5 years, not just this year pandemic.
Oh no, in the last not really.
Yeah, because Chavez missed it on DAZN with Jacobs and stuff like that. He made it for Canelo, right? Chavez Jr.
Yeah, they killed.
But remember that was a catch weight though. The one with Chavez
164.5.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I don't have any issues. I don't think Tank is gonna miss weight. Like we saw last week he was already like at below 135, and other people that are with his camp, I think what is it, Lorenzo Truck Simpson, like he's been like that for 2 weeks, so he feels good. So I don't see weight being a problem, and like someone just recently said, I don't think that especially being with Floyd and training in Vegas, big first pay-per-view, he's not gonna miss weight. He'll be fine. I don't think he's gonna miss weight.
Now, Jay Stacks had a question, and I want to present it to you guys. Does anyone have this fight going to the cards? 12 rounds. Sir, you said you did?
Yeah, I can see it. I think Leo, I think he's going to do it for his father because he did that fight against Frampton. His father told him to box Frampton that second fight, and he boxed Frampton. So I think he's going to do the same thing, especially his father being a little bit more sick. I think he's going to go to I think he's just going to try to box his way into 12 rounds and not go. If that's your father's last fight, you don't want your father to see his last fight and you get knocked out or something like that. So I think he's going to try to box his way into either to a decision or let it go to his going to decision to be good for him.
Anybody else picking decision? Hey, you got quiet. All right, sir, you on your own.
Nah, because what it is. He's like, no, you know what it is? Is like, it's not going to be his option. Like, I'm keeping it real. Like, he could try to box. But eventually Tank Davis is going to catch up to him, and he's not going to be able to keep Tank off of him. And like I said, when he realizes that power, he's going to be on the floor. Like, what the hell just hit me? So
that's why
he could box. He could box all he wants, but Tank is going to catch him. Sooner or later, he's going to catch him. So
actually, what Sura said really struck me though, because this is his pop's last fight, and his pops just got out the hospital, was about to die. Like, things like that matter, right? So you've seen that plenty of times in sports.
Facts.
Things like that matter, right? So I actually am leaning now more toward what Sarah was saying. Like, this is going to be the fight where all that emotion is going to come out. And yeah, look, I still think Tank's going to knock him out, but that's a possibility. I'm not discounting that his pops and everything he's gone through with him to help bring him over the line.
See what you did, sir? That's what I'm talking about. Easy work Wednesday. He converting some people.
I agree with Sir. I like what Sir said. I love it. But here's the thing: you still have to account for Tank.
That's true.
You still have to account for him. Here's the thing: you made him go back down. He moved up to 135. You made him go back down to 130 because you thought he was going to be weight drained. So now he's like, okay, no, this is my natural weight. This is where I'm supposed to be anyway. I'm going to show you why making me do this just made me angry. So I'm going to prove it to you, and I'm going to prove it to everybody.
I also think that, oh, my bad. I was just going to say this real quick. I also think that Gervonta Tank Davis, he's on the cusp. This is his first pay-per-view. So he knows the implications of being on a pay-per-view and what this means for his career. So to me, I'm looking at it like also Gervonta Tank Davis knows he can be the next Mayweather and carry the kind of pay-per-view torch. So it's hard pressed for me to see him losing this particular fight because the stakes are high and the implications are high. Like I think this is not a knock. I know Tank, this is not a knock on him, but I think we haven't seen the best of Tank, and Tank has been operating, beating guys, not necessarily on 100%. You know what I mean? Like 100% dedicated, 100% focused, 100% the dieters, right? And he's gifted naturally, so he's able to beat guys. And there's guys like that, like Zab Judah, Broner, where they can beat guys and they can beat them just off pure athleticism, power, natural ability and stuff like that. And I think Tank is going to come into this fight dialed in, focused. He played no games. And if he's beating guys, and I'm not saying he's just like trying to make him God tier or whatever, saying he's beating guys on 50%, but if he's beating guys on 72%, 76%, 80%, imagine if he moves that needle to 86%, 87, 90%, 100%, you know what I'm saying? Then I think it's going to be a hellish night. What were you saying, sir?
Yeah, like I said, if Leo get knocked out, he's going to knock himself out. If he try to go balls to the wall, then he just sacrificed himself to the damn Kraken. You're going to run up on Tank like that with the power Tank got. You want it to get knocked out, so he'd be sacrificing himself. But I'm still going to take that father element into it. I know he wants his father wants his father to see him go out, not on his back. So, but then again, you never know. He might just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out on my shield." He might choose that, but I think he's going to try to box his way, and so his father can see him on his feet. But then you do got to take into consideration Tank has been training, and he's been training at high altitude, and he's been sparring people like Cuba Arias. He's been sparring big dudes, so I think Tank plan
That's
is
ridiculous.
Try to walk through dude. That's
Luis
his plan.
Cuba Arias, in case you guys don't know, he fought Danny Jacobs. That's a middleweight.
So
I agree
big
with
dude,
both of y'all. I
Having
agree with
Ray
both of
Cash.
y'all. I agree with both of y'all. But to me, it's more on Tank, because Tank was told from Floyd, from Leonard Ellerby, you can be the next pay-per-view star. This is his first pay-per-view. Nobody wants to get in a first pay-per-view and make it go to the cards, especially if you're the next star. You're the next Floyd. No, he's trying to give people their money's worth. So, yes, Leo might try to box him, but Tank is going to move in a position where he can get his shots off.
Now, on the last thing with the decision, I got to move along the conversation, but I got to say on the decision, if it does possibly go to a decision, is anybody worried? Because out of all states, the state of Texas has gotten it wrong in boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Pernell Whitaker, Paulie Malignaggi, complained about Texas judging, and I think it was the Juan Diaz fight, things like that. So do you think there will be any level of potential controversy in this fight if it goes to the scorecards, in Texas, and you have a Hispanic fighter, Mexican-American fighter, and Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank, and the fight was close? Because we all believe it's going to be a competitive fight. Will controversy in any shape, preferably with the scorecards, come into play here?
Nah, it's a Floyd fight.
Gonna come into
One at
play.
a time. Whoever that one.
I think this is go ahead.
No, just whoever's talking, just keep talking, and then
I don't know if it's going to come into place. I don't know if it's going to come into place because I don't know how close the fight's going to be, even if it goes the distance. Those cards where they were close and the judges went one way or the other in Texas, some of those fights weren't as close as that we like that they said they were, and they gave them the other way. But I think that if this fight goes a distance and Gervonta Davis puts on a show for his first pay-per-view the same way that Errol Spence did for his against Mikey Garcia, and has a dominant performance where he shuts him out 12 rounds, I don't see them cheating that. Now, if Leo Santa Cruz, does more than Mikey did, then that's possible. But I think that Calvin Ford wants Davis to come out and put on a performance the same way that Errol did against Mikey. And if he does that, I don't see it being an issue with the judges.
Next.
I was just wanted to say that it's a Floyd card, it's a Mayweather card. So I mean, I don't see any shenanigans going on for Gervonta in this fight. This is his card and his debut. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and they both Al Heyman fighters, so I don't see now if he was a Golden Boy or top rank, then I can see some bullshit in the game. But both Al Heyman fighters, nah, I don't see. I think it's going to be pretty much fair down the line.
Yeah, I don't think the judges will be an issue. But going back real quick to what Sir was saying with the his father being in his corner, and what his father went through, I feel like his father being there might be quicker to throw in the towel, because I think that he might not want see his son take punishment. So I think if Leo is getting just tagged and getting hurt, round after round, I see the dad, if anything, thrown in the towel, if anything.
So the
I
dad might make an
that,
emotional response.
Correct. Like, I understand that Leo at heart, he might want to do it for his father, but at the same time, you have to think of, let's say, his father's seeing his son just getting beat. He might throw in the towel sooner than what Leo wants. So, that's another thing. So
is this fight going to be competitive?
I think the fight will be competitive. I think the fight will be competitive the first few rounds, until Tank Davis finds his range, until he gets used to the Leo's reach, or if Leo's boxing from the outside. I think the first few rounds will be competitive, but I think once Tank, feels him out and gets in there, gets into his body, I don't think it's gonna be competitive. I think it's gonna be, like I said, I have him winning by TKO. Either the ref is gonna stop it or Leo's corner is gonna stop it.
So competitive, and then Tank pulls away.
Correct.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting more than competitive.
That's a great way to put it.
Exciting.
Shout out to Tank. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting fight as long as it lasts. And I also think that like I said, the arrow spins versus Mikey fight. Remember, Robert Garcia was going to throw that towel in there.
Facts.
And I think that could happen in this fight. I really do think that Gervonta could dominate him, and Leo may refuse to go out in the shield, and his corner, his brother or his dad, may just be like, you know what? Nah.
Me personally, I think the fight will be competitive depending on what Leo shows up. But I also think we're going to see a Tank we've never seen. Tank is more focused. Tank has been away from the things he knows, the things he's used to. He trains in Baltimore all the time. He's not training there. So he has a different hunger. He's got a different wavelength right now. So it's like, like the competitivity of the fight depends on which Leo is there. If Leo's just trying to box, or he goes into the survival mode, it's not going to be that competitive. It's going to be one-sided. But if Leo converts back to the old Leo that we know, who's a volume puncher and stuff, yeah, if he goes to the cards, it's more competitive because he's throwing punches. But it's like I said, if you take that risk, you're going to get caught with a shot.
Now, the thing that's intriguing to this fight for me is Leo, like my man Jay Stacks was saying earlier, he's the volume guy. So he does throw a lot of punches, and Tank's a great counter puncher. If it goes to the second half, does Tank have any worries in terms of stamina? Because typically from the power puncher, they don't throw as many punches. And Leo says he's going to try to take him to deep waters and drown him. And he does throw a lot of punches. So will that be in the second half if Gervonta hasn't made enough of an imprint on Leo Santa Cruz, that volume punching plus cardio and nutrition, will that, at all play a fact? Does Tank have stamina in the second half, selecting his shots?
Oh, please let me go first.
Hold on, I got
Gamboa in the last round.
Who?
He knocked out Gamboa in the last round.
Yeah, but Gamboa allegedly was hurt or whatever the situation.
He knocked out Gamboa in the last round.
But that's not really a good example, because Gamboa wasn't. Gamboa was in survival mode though.
And when I looked at the fight, because I looked at it again, he didn't look tired. He just looked frustrated.
Yeah, but was Gamboa throwing punches to you? Like, was
no.
he throwing But look, you just said earlier, Leo throw 1,000 punches, 100 per round. So if Gamboa was allegedly injured and he was in survival mode, not throwing punches, then that
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. That's why I said, but Tank didn't look tired. He looked like he was just taking rounds off.
Yeah, but he wasn't being swarmed by Gamboa punching power. I
think he's in better shape this time. Because think about it, I think he's in better shape. I'm from the East Coast. Training in PA, Baltimore, New York, Virginia, and it's like the wintertime, it's colder. You go to Vegas where it's still 100 degrees. That's why Tank don't look weight drained. Like, he's doing it the right way. And then he got Floyd. Floyd said, oh no, you're gonna see him box. You're gonna see him box because Leo's coming in the fight to box. He said he's gonna box and he's gonna try and take him to deep water. That means Tank ain't throwing them killer shots. And think about it. With the first Wilder Ortiz fight, Wilder wasn't throwing big shots in either Ortiz fight in the beginning. He let Ortiz do what he was going to do, and he was selectively picking his punches.
But I think with the Leo versus Luis Ortiz, you can't make no mistakes at all versus him. He gonna clip your ass. So Leo is not technically what a Luis Ortiz is. You see what I'm saying? So Wilder had no choice but to play,
But
you know,
it's
reasonably.
the same principle. If you're gonna box me, I'm gonna box you. And they say everybody you talk to in the industry say Tank is Tank has an amateur background too.
No, I get that. I talked to his coach.
He can box. Like, yo, just like they talked about Theo. Like, him versus Loma, he's just the power punch. No. And what did he do? What did he do the first 7 rounds to win all 7 rounds? He boxed.
Anybody else? What does Tank's stamina look like in the second half?
I think Tank's stamina is going to be on point because he's training at high altitude. He's training in Vegas. He's sparring on big dudes. He's sparring Iris. He was sparring another dude that was big. So he's going to try to walk through whatever Leo. And then Leo throw punches. If Leo throw punches, he's going to create a bridge. And Tank's going to cross those damn bridges or destroy them goddamn bridges. One or the other. He got the power to do it. So if you throw punches, you leave yourself vulnerable. So if you throw a punch and Tank box and catch him with something, that's the, like I say, he's gonna knock himself out. He's gonna do something. If he throws a punch, he try to throw those 100 punches you throw around, he's going to create a bridge and open it. And Tank's going to cross that bridge or destroy that motherfucking bridge. But something's
one thing I noticed from watching Tank fights live, covering his fights, that's incredible that he does, is this motherfucker quick. Like when he caught Ricardo Nunes after the break, it was like out of nowhere. And then Nunes, he was goofing off and trying to showboat, he thought it was sweet or whatever. And he was like playing around. And Tank was like, all right, off of the break, bop, hooked him. And that pretty much set up him falling back in the ropes, being hurt. And even on the ropes, he shot one shot and Nunes's head was like, bop, and went all the way up. Tank's a great finisher. Hold on. Tank's a great finisher. And he's explosive and he can explode out of nowhere. Pause. What were you saying, Jay Stacks?
I got to give credit to the boxing icon right now, a.k.a. Boxingego. You talked about him boxing. He's sparring with the Barrios twins. They're what, 126? Are they both 126?
Yeah.
No, they're 5'11", damn near 6 foot. You're 5'5", but you're training with them. And then the first one to fight on that card, he's a great boxer. The second one got cracks. So you're sparring with them. So they're taller than Leo. But you're putting yourself in a position. You're learning. You're gaining information. And then you got Floyd in your corner, who is the precisionist. Floyd is not. He doesn't have that record from not knowing things. Like, yo, so like they say Tank's already a good boxer and we never see him box the way he can box. And then you got Floyd right there. Like, no, this is what you do.
Great points.
Yeah. I think that when it comes to those late rounds that you're talking about, Ego, I think that Leo does intend to drag Davis out to those deep waters and then put the pressure on with the volume punching. I'm not sure whether or not he'll be tired, because I do think, like everybody else, that this camp matters with Davis going to train with Mayweather in Las Vegas for as long as he's been out there. Seems like he's taking the camp serious and he should be in great shape. But I don't think that it'd be too much of an issue, but I think that it'd be a good game plan for Leo to do. I just think that Davis has proven, if nothing else, in the Gamboa fight, that his power can last all 12 rounds. So even if he is tired and Leo opens up, he can get caught, and it could be trouble for Leo late in those rounds.
Rate Leo Santa Cruz's power on a scale of 0 to 10. This is an open question to anybody on the panel. At like 126, 130, like where do you rate his power? Like
7,
like a 6 or 7, yeah, like 6 or 7.
When he was 118, he was a 6 or a 7. 126, he was a 5 or 6. 130, it's a 4 or 5.
He has average power at 130, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
He has average power. like if you look at his knockouts, they're all because of volume punches. It's an accumulation, but you got to hit the person. And like, yo, he hasn't, like, just like you said about Vasily
When's his last
Lomachenko.
stoppage? Anybody have that information? I'm just
Thank
curious now. When was his last stoppage? Somebody look. Hold on, I'll look it up. You guys keep talking. I don't even know who's the last guy he stopped. He didn't stop Abner. He didn't stop the Flores dude. Let me pull this up. This is a good question.
I think it's the
Matt,
guy
do you have
before.
any opinions on his power? Where you were rated?
Yeah, about a 6 or 7.
Last
Okay, his
stoppage
last-
was Chris
oh,
Last
Avalos.
stop was 2017.
Yeah, Chris Avalos, who was like 27-5. Okay. Yeah, so he ain't got a stoppage since 2017. So it's been a minute. And then before that, it was Kiko Martinez. Interesting.
Kiko Martinez before Frampton, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't see stamina being an issue for Tank Davis. And even like you guys were just saying, even if it goes past the 7th or 8th round, you know, like Tank was just saying, you know, Gervonta Davis power carries all through all 12 rounds. So even if Leo, you know, I understand that Leo's a volume puncher, but I don't see him throwing that many punches versus Tank because, like I said, the power is going to be the equalizer, and it's going to, you know, Leo's going to be more cautious, you know, to you know, throw that many punches versus Tank because he's going to get caught with something big.
Yeah, Tank's countering, and then his power could definitely nullify the volume, make you not want to make you gun shy. All right, I got a question for you. I got a question.
What's up? Though? Can I ask a question? An open question. Like, can I ask an open question? To me, it feels like the same fight, but it's a better fight because of the resume. It seems like Teofimo and Loma fight because power versus boxer, but it's a better fight because of the names and the resumes. So, do y'all think this fight is better, or do y'all think it's on the same lines? Should Tank get more credit for beating Leo? It don't matter what weight it is than Tio got for beating Loma because Loma was a hype job.
In my opinion, Loma moved up from the lower weights. Leo moved up from the lower weights. Mikey Garcia moved up for the lower weights. So if Teofimo get his credit and Errol Spence get his credit, and in my opinion, Gervonta Davis should get his credit. That's the short answer.
Yeah, he definitely deserves credit. I think Jay Stacks was trying to figure out what fight deserves more credit or what I personally try to go off of the performance, and you know what I'm saying? Like Leo Santa Cruz is a quality fighter. You know, he has a good resume. He beat Abner Matas twice, who Tank was supposed to fight, and then, you know, Abner Matas couldn't fight because of injury. So it's hard because Teofimo is getting a lot of credit because old media hyped up Lomanchenko, and he does have the gold medals and stuff like that, but they hyped him up something crazy. So to see Teofimo dethrone that, you got to give him a lot of credit because if Lomachenko was what old media said he was, then, you know, you got to give him credit because Teo neutralized him. So I think they're a little bit different fights. That's just my opinion. I got a question for you guys now, though. I like this young batch of fighters. They look hungry. They're all relatively in the same age group. So I want you guys to rank the fighters. I'm gonna just laundry list them, and you tell me where they fit. Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, Teofimo, Ryan Garcia, and Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur, I'll put
That's
Shakur
5.
number. I'll put Shakur for our skill wise.
That's everything wise, like just
everything.
what they can accomplish and stuff. Top 5. That's 5 fighters. Let me read for all the people listening. Let me rehash what I just said. There's 5 fighters. They're all good fighters, all great fighters, making their way. They all seem hungry. Different, you know, some have been champions longer, etc. Tank, Teofimo, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson. I think I missed somebody. Didn't I have 5?
Oh yeah, you did. Like
Ryan Garcia.
You
have Teofimo and Ryan Garcia.
I got Teofimo and Ryan. I got the order though. I got Tank number 1. I got Shakur number 2. I got Teofimo number 3.
How you put
I got
T.O.
Devin Haney number 4,
behind
and I got
Shakur?
Ryan Garcia number 5.
How you put T.O. behind Shakur? He just beat Lomachenko. Go.
It doesn't matter that he beat Lomachenko.
No, I'm just asking. No, it's a question.
No. It's just like whenever you talk about Andre Ward, and they didn't give him his credit. People don't give Shakur his credit. Shakur is a great boxer, and people, because he don't got a whole bunch of knockouts. But if you put Shakur in there with almost anybody at his weight class, or anybody like his age, his weight class, he's so technical that he'll win. Like he doesn't have to knock you out. He can destroy you without having a knockout. He can own the fight without having a knockout. And like I put Devin Haney behind T.O. because T.O. has the knockout power. T.O. has the knockout power. He beat Loma. Devin Haney, yes, he's a great fighter. He's technical, but he's not as technical as Shakur. And then Ryan Garcia, you ain't fought nobody, so you got to be last.
You got to be 5. Ryan got to be 5. You ain't did nothing.
Okay. T.O. So you said you had Shakur. What about Teofimo unifying?
I had Tank, Shakur, T.O., Devin Haney, then Ryan Garcia.
Okay. Who else? Top 5.
I'll have Tank, Devin Haney, and Tank, Devin Haney, and Shakur, 1A, 1B, 1C, and then I have T.O. number 2, and Ryan just 5.
Damn.
I have it a little different.
Let's hear it.
I have Shakur number 1. I have Tank number 2. I have Teofimo number 3. I have Ryan Garcia number 4, and I have Haney number 5.
Oh, you put Haney last? Okay.
Wow.
Let's hear out.
And the reason why is because who his promoter is.
What you mean by that?
I understand that both of these guys, for example, I understand that both Ryan Garcia and Haney, they're both fighting on the zone. But the difference is, I feel like Oscar De La Hoya is going to be able to get Ryan Garcia better fights than what Eddie Hearn is going to be able to get Haney. If we look at their next fights, I think is a perfect example. I think Luke Campbell, people see, Luke Campbell being more of a challenge for Ryan Garcia than what Gamboa is going to be for Haney. If we look at Eddie Hearn's middleweight right now, you have Andrade, he's not getting any good fights. You have Billy Joe Saunders that you could match him up against, but he's not getting any good fights. You got Triple G there, not getting any good fights. So I think because of the promoter, just because of the promoter of what fights you're going to be able to get your fighter is why I think Ryan would probably do more than Haney.
Interesting perspective. So you're saying he can eclipse them based on being able to prove more by promotional, entities.
By promotional, yeah. By who's gonna get behind them. Another thing, let's remember, Ryan Garcia is gonna have. I think Ryan Garcia already has a bigger fan base than Haney. He's gonna have the Latino crowd behind him, to support support his fights and go watch him and all that. So I think that also will play into it as well.
Who are you guys picking for Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell?
I got Luke.
I got Ryan. I think Ryan. Wow. I think Ryan's gonna clip him and knock him out. He's gonna be able to do what Loma wasn't able to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Next,
Ryan. I got Ryan Garcia. But I want to talk about what Ari just said.
Hold on, because we have to keep it moving. Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell. Who? Anybody who hasn't answered. So you picking Luke? Ari's picking Ryan. J Stacks.
I'm picking Ryan. I'm picking Ryan too.
I think that's a difficult fight. I think that's a super difficult fight for Ryan Garcia, just because there's a lot unknown. And I think Ryan Garcia, he has a lot of just outright, just kind of distractions in general, because he lives that dual life of being an Instagram influencer and whatnot. I think that's a difficult.
But Ego, I feel like he's been training for this fight for the last year on Instagram. Like, this has got to bear some fruit at this point. He's been on Instagram trying to fight this forever. Like, so I just think he's ready to move to the next step.
Somebody got to mute because you're picking up the feedback from the stream. So everybody mute if you ain't talking. What about Devin Haney versus Gamboa? Anybody think Gamboa could show anything, or is everyone picking Devin to wash him?
Well, remember the last one of these streams that we did, definitely have Haney winning that fight. But remember, we spoke that if, I was saying if Gamboa is 100% healthy and Haney doesn't fight the right type of fight, I see Gamboa could give him some trouble.
Okay.
Still
Ricky
have Haney
Williams.
winning by decision.
Ricky, you joining the chat? You here, Ricky Williams?
Yeah, can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, so I got a question since you're the newest one to join. 5 fighters, all young, all like the XXL freshman class. Rank them in your order from who will accomplish the most in their career kind of thing. Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Is there one more person? Ryan, Shakur. Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Gervonta, and Teofimo.
Number 1 is going to be Tank Davis, aka Rambo. He's got the machine behind him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Next, number 2.
Number 2, I would say not Shakur because he's with Top Rank. He'll have to leave Top Rank. I'm gonna say Devin Haney, right? And the reason is because we all know Bazzone's about to break up, so he's gonna be open to do really pretty much whatever he wants to do. And he's got that hunger. He wants smoke with anybody. So I got to give it to Devin Haney off passion and skills. Period. After that, we'll fight down. I'm gonna say, to be honest, Shakur Stevens, because I think anybody over there at Top Rank, if they see Shakur in his weight class, he's smoking them straight up and down. But again, they got to get, as far as if we're talking about as far as just a name, as far as big, they got to get away from Top Rank. But if we're talking about as far as just skills, Shakur Stevenson's nasty. Then I'll go Teofimo and then Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia, like I said, once he gets up there with the big dogs, he's going to get 8 on the porch, plain and simple.
Oh, wow. It's interesting, but also sad that Ari and Ricky, they have to encompass the political landscape of boxing when they're factoring in people's ceiling. You know what I'm saying? And that's a sad reality, but it's true. You got to look at who you're aligned with, like what competition you can fight in your relative division, because it's not the throwback, the 80s or something where everybody just has to fight and will fight. There's a lot of people in suits who make the decisions. So I think you guys all had a lot of good stuff. What about, I got Shakur Stevenson and Miguel Berchelt. If they fight at 130. Who is this?
It's Tank.
Okay.
You let me get my 5.
Yeah. Do your 5.
I got Haney at 1, Davis at 2, Shakur at 3, Teofimo at 4, and I got Garcia at 5.
Okay, so Devin Haney has the highest ceiling. Explain. Go.
Just that pedigree that he has. From all the 5, he seems to be the one that seems the most consistently dedicated, and that matters to me. And then, like I said, the pedigree. This is Zab Judah's godson. You know what I'm saying? Came up under the Mayweather, the culture that they have in terms of training. You know what I'm saying? Dedication to the sport, clean living, and always working.
Okay, and who'd you have number 5?
I had Ryan Garcia at number 5 because he's the one I think I have the most questions about out of the 5.
Damn, y'all all put Ryan at number 5. Damn. Oh, not everybody. I guess most people. Gary Russell, since we're talking about these divisions, today it came out, ESPN reported that Gary Russell said he wanted to fight Berchelt at 130, so it looks like he's going to move up. What do you guys think about Gary Russell Jr., Berchelt?
I think honestly that would be a good fight for the winner of that fight would be a good fight for Shakur. Because out of everybody else, I didn't hear Shakur come up number 1, but out of the 5 guys we've been talking about, for me, Shakur is the best pure fighter, the best fighter overall. And for
you
him
have
to move
Shakur
up,
number 1, you said?
Yeah,
Matt.
I have Shakur number 1. Yeah, by far. Yes.
Gotcha.
Shakur 1, and then The other guys can go however they want to go, and then Ryan at 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
why
have
you put
Shakur
Shakur
number
number
one as
one?
well. I have
I
Shakur
think
number one as well.
like
Okay, so
Shakur's a
all
gold
right.
medalist. I don't care what
Uh-huh.
anybody says. He was a gold medalist.
Oh, you
just
thought
like
he won versus
Lomachenko.
Robisi Ramirez?
Oh yeah, I thought he won that fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think he won that fight. Everything I've seen in the amateurs and to date, somebody mentioned it earlier, like he's beaten everybody in whatever weight class he's in. And he only gets hit 5 times a round at most. Like he's got the best defense. His offense is underrated. His power is underrated. I just think he's the full package. Like I think if anybody's close to that Floyd Mayweather myth that everybody wants to kind of get to, right? Or not myth, but wants to be Floyd Mayweather, he's got the closest, even with Devin Haney, everything Devin Haney has, he's the closest in terms of skill sets that I've seen that's closest to Floyd, in my opinion.
And I also to add to what Matt just said, I think that Shakur also has the right team behind him. You know, he's got Terence Crawford, who's Terence Crawford and Andre Ward, who's kind of helping manage his career. So I think having those guys being so close to those guys, and they're guiding him the right way. And to what Matt was just saying, like the way Shakur, the way he moves in and out, the way he keeps his distance, and he's just like, technically he's so sound. He's I think he's gonna be by far the most successful out of all of them. Again, we also have to remember, like I said, it's unfortunate, but we know that race plays a big part in boxing. So it also depends of how much your network or whoever's behind you, promotes you. And
well, yeah. Then I got a question, follow-up question. They just came out that Cameron Duncan said that Top Rank had an NBF no black fighter list, and Shakur Stevens, Stevenson, he is a black fighter. And do you think he'll get the treatment at ESPN and Top Rank that he deserves? Because he's definitely a quality fighter, but they're talking about Oscar Valdez fighting Miguel Berchelt instead of Shakur. And Shakur wanted to fight Valdez when they're in the previous division, and it didn't happen. And then now they're in the same division, and they're talking about Berchelt getting that. And Berchelt already has some solid names like Francisco Vargas.
So I think, and this is from just pure speculation. I actually saw that Shakur tweeted something out. I think it was yesterday. He was like, he actually reached out to Abner Mares, like, hey, Mares, are you available in January? I need an opponent. And Mares was like, yeah, I'm down for that. So I feel like, honestly, I think that Top Rank will give Lomachenko the Berchelt Valdez, winner over Shakur. And they're not going to.
So then how does Shakur prove his worth if Lomachenko moves down in weight and gets the Berchelt Valdez winner? Who could Shakur fight? Because see, what I've noticed is like Top Rank ESPN, Jamel Herring might fight Frampton. Then you have Valdez versus Berchelt, and then you just said Lomachenko might get the winner of that fight. So how does Shakur stake his claim? Because those are probably the best guys in house that he can fight.
Yeah, he's gonna have to either maybe move up to 135 and try to see if he can get some guys from the PBC side, or try to fight. But that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, race plays a part, and he's with Top Rank. But listen, we don't know how long his contract is. That's another thing. We don't know how long his contract is with Top Rank. So there is a possibility that maybe he won't re-sign with them, or depending on what they do for him. But I think he definitely has, with Andre Ward and Terence Crawford being mentors, I think that's, skills-wise, fighting-wise, and maybe business-wise on the side of Andre Ward, he'll get the right guidance for his career.
I don't see it. Look, I got to say. This is what I got to say, and I'm gonna leave it at this. I see Shakur won't be on Top Rank after this contract. Devin Haney is leaving Dead Zone. Ryan Garcia is leaving. What's it? Silverboy? Is it Silverboy Production?
Silverboy.
Silverboy Promotions. No, but here's the thing: when you get to PBC, which they're all going to end up in, they fight each other, and that's what's going to happen. Shakur, what he's fighting at? He's fighting at 126 at first, then he moved up to 130, or was it 130? He moved up to 135. Shakur, I don't know. Out of all of them, he like when it comes to actual boxing skills, he's the most skilled. But I have him behind Tank because Tank is skilled and he has the most power out of all of them.
Gotcha.
Tio, yes, you're a great fighter, but like right now, if you put him in the ring, 8 months from now, I think Shakur beats Tio.
Even though the weight disparity. Well, I mean, Shakur's pretty big though.
No, he's the same size as Tio. He's slimmer. They're the same size. Like
I gotta see him.
I think he beats Tio. Like only out of that 5 that you gave, I put them in order. Like I put them in order of the people they gonna beat. I put Tank beating all of them. I put Shakur beating all the rest. I put Tio beating the rest of them, and that's why I put them in that order. Because the thing about it is, Tank is like his knockout power will always continue. He's gonna beat it. You can't be coached how to hit somebody. Like if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't.
Ricky,
but Shakur has skills. He has the best boxing skills out of all of them, in my eye.
Over Devin Haney.
Yes.
And he's southpaw.
Yes.
He is southpaw.
No hesitation. Don't get me wrong. Haney is a great fighter.
No, yeah, this is not to knock any of them.
He's a great fighter, but he's number 4 on my list. You're like, you're number 4. And the only reason I put number 4 is because I think I think you knowing what I know about you and knowing how great of a boxer you are, you're like Floyd. Floyd never got clipped though. Devin Haney, you have the potential to get clipped.
You know, the interesting thing about everybody's list that I haven't really heard anyone mention is chins. Because I feel like when it comes to elite level boxing, to be an elite level great boxer, you got to have a chin. You know what I'm saying? Like Mayweather got an underrated chin. Like Amir Khan, if he had like a man style chin, he'd be really hard to beat. But that's kind of his Achilles heel, his kryptonite. Who do you think got a chin? Because all these guys are young and they're young in their journey. Who has a chin? Because that durability is needed. When you fighting the best in your division and somebody with power that could clip you, that chin got to be on point, in my view. Like Andre Ward got a chin. He was pound for pound #1 on my list. You know, Pacquiao got a chin at one point when he was running through guys. He has a chin. Floyd, without saying he has a chin. Who got a chin? Whose chin are you worried about? We got to talk about
my list.
Let me go because I didn't even get a chance to
J-Stacks,
tap in on the Shakur.
All right.
Yeah, let me get in because I didn't get a chance to tap in on the what does Shakur do if he gets put on the NBF.
Come on, Tank.
All right, look, if Shakur get put on the NBF, I think he got to go outside the box, get creative, and have Jay Prince holler at Al Heyman and see if he can get a Gary Russell Jr. fight, because that's the only way he's going to be able to test his skills if he gets frozen out with the Burchett fight and the Lomanchenko fight at 130. In terms of the chin aspect, all these guys have pretty much good defense, especially with their feet. These 5 that you named, so we haven't had a chance to see them get their chins really tested. I would say just I would probably just off of guessing, I would say probably I would guess that Gervonta Davis and Lopez got chins, and I still got to see Haney, Shakur, and Garcia get hit flush to find out.
All right, who's next on the chin argument, or not even argument, just conversation?
I agree with Tank. What Tank just said. I think Teofimo and Tank Davis probably have the best chins. The person that worries me is Ryan Garcia with the chin, because he tends to sometimes he tends to leave his chin up. You know, so he kind of fights. He fights tall, but he tends to leave his chin up sometimes. So that worries me. And also, I think Devin Haney's chin worries me sometimes. You know, I've seen him get hit, but I haven't really seen someone really clip him hard. And like Shakur, I'm not really worried about his chin because he doesn't get hit, man. He like I feel like his ring
At this
IQ and the
level,
way he
at
moves,
this
he just
level,
doesn't get hit.
at this
Yeah, like
level.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's levels to it, and the way he fights, the way he moves, is like you can't even touch him. And I think a perfect example of that was when he fought Joel Gonzalez. Like Joel Gonzalez didn't have a chance because the way he just moved in and out on him, it was just playing with him. You know,
Ricky
so
Williams, you were jumping in. What were you saying?
At this level, guys, right? All of this right now is opinion and speculation, right? None of these, the only guy I can say convincingly that's been in there with competition that I respected was Tank, right? Everybody else, this is just wishing and high hoping. Oh, sorry about that, guys. It's just wishing and high hoping, right? So we all know it's levels, it's elevators, guys, outcasts. Until we see them getting there with some competition and get cracked, we wishing on prayers, bro. That's just being honest.
So if you had to just guess from the eye test, like I know that's why I posed the question because no one was talking about the chin. And like
answer your question.
Hold on, you can't keep jumping in. Like I'm in the middle of thoughts. So when we're talking about the chin, I think that is needed at the elite level.
No doubt.
So from the eye test, do you have an opinion on whose chin would like from it is speculation, like you're saying. It is speculation. So do you have an opinion? Because I get what you're saying, because you're saying the competition, nobody has fought the names that would show us that.
The guy I would say I'm sure has a chin is Tank Davis. I done seen him spar bigger guys. We done seen him get clipped. He's the goods. I don't care what nobody say. The only person that can beat Tank is Tank. That's just being real. As far as chins, Ryan Garcia, once he gets hit by a big puncher, he's going to sleep, dude. Chin all up in the air.
Oh shit!
Snoring, sneezing. You know what I'm saying?
NyQuil.
Right. Ryan Garcia is he's a public relations act. As soon as she get in there with somebody dirty, it's gonna get ugly for him. Once somebody know how to time that speed, it's over for him. He's a showpiece. He's a Yu-Gi-Oh card, man. It's just a matter of time for that dude.
Oh, you violating. All right, Jay Stacks, what were you at? I know you want to jump in.
No, because you was talking about chins. The rank that I gave you originally when you asked about all of them, I ranked their chins. That's the same way I ranked their chins.
Look, so you put Tank, Shakur?
Tank is number one because Tank's been hit. I give Shakur number two because the way you box, it's just like Andre Ward box, Crawford boxes. They don't get clean. They don't let people hit him with clean shots. So you'll never see his chin be a problem because I'm not getting hit with clean shots. Teofimo gets hit with clean shots, but he has a good chin. Devin Haney has not been hit with a clean shot, and I don't know. Your chin might be in question. Ryan Garcia, your chin is in question. It's very in question. I think you get clipped by somebody of the elite level, you're going to sleep.
Damn. You guys heard it. Easy work Wednesday. All right, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I just think Jay Stacks brought up a good point. The rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11 that Lomanchenko fight, Tio had no defense for them 4 rounds. Like he let Lomanchenko just tee off on him, right? And while he clearly won the fight, like there's got to be, you got to think about Teofimo versus a more elite fighter. Somebody might really get his chin a few times and get him down. And that's the only point I wanted to make there.
Out of that top 5 list of the XXL freshmen, does anybody on that list beat Lomanchenko if they were to fight?
All of them, except Ryan.
Damn, you said all of them beat Loma.
Except Ryan.
So Ryan would lose to Loma.
Yep.
Ricky Williams agrees with you.
Yes, Ghost Rider. Yes.
Tank will do Lomachenko greasy.
Do him dirty.
Hey, look, it might be unanimous.
Let Tank get a piece. Okay, let Tank get a piece.
Unanimous, but I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in there. I'm gonna say all of them, including Ryan Garcia.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
That's what's great about the Easy Work Wednesday panel. We don't always agree on everything. So explain why Ryan Garcia. You think Ryan Garcia has what it takes now to beat Lomachenko?
Right. I think that with Lomachenko, I think a big thing with him was the aura of invincibility that the mainstream media kept putting out there. You can't hit him. He's gonna move. He's high tech. It's the Matrix. You can't find him. He'll step around you. He'll hit you. He'll pat you on the head. All that shit is out the window now. Ryan Garcia is from Cali. All right. Well, all the shit that we want to say about him and all that Hollywood shit, that's why he Hollywood, right? I'm from Cali, so I know how I get down out here. But Ryan Garcia can fight. Do we have questions? Absolutely. Is the chin one of them? Absolutely. But the kid can fight, and he stays in the gym too. All right. He does have his fun, but the kid's working. And I know his cousins and his family, and I know he's working. So I think that he can get Loma. I think he'll box smart. I think that the difference with bringing Eddie Reynoso in to help him get better at refining his skills, his head movement, his feet movement, and some other things has helped him, and is going to continue to help him moving forward. And I think without that aura of invincibility, that people are going to go in and start boxing Loma. They're going to be like, okay, just pivot with him, move, and when he come in, hit him first.
Ryan Garcia, he would outbox and win a decision against Loma, or he would stop Loma. What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but I think
you would just pick him to win.
I just pick him to win. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got to pop the jab on him, keep him at distance, or catch Loma coming in, or take advantage of Loma. Loma might get in there and get cocky and play with his food. And some of these young bucks, you don't want to do that with.
I'm looking at Ricky Williams' face. He don't agree with you. Why don't you agree?
I mean, I agree. I agree to an extent, but I just wanted to get some of this Loma work because I missed last week. After we done told all these people, bro, just because you in boxing don't mean you know boxing, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. All these young cats dog walk Loma. Y'all got to understand, it's a reason why that Top Rank didn't put him in there with nobody else but from Top Rank. If Tio would have walked to him early, he would have stopped. If Neo, the Matrix, the real Matrix, would have walked to him, he would have stopped him.
Stop that man.
He would have stopped him. Loma cannot fight going backwards.
We called it, and I know you was calling it too. I know you was.
Did I not tell y'all he was gonna dog walk that man? Ain't that what I said?
You said it.
It's on tape. The most dangerous thing in 2020 is a camera and a microphone.
Tell him, Ricky. So you said these young fighters is over for Loma in terms of the young crop of fighters, basically.
He should retire. I keep trying to tell people, bro. Y'all keep touting them amateur. He stayed Ami for a reason. Why would you not come out of Amis when the money's in the pros, especially at the time when Floyd was out, when boxing was making super big money on Loma's name? And so even with the pandemic, with the COVID and everything, right, they still was pushing Loma super hard, right? So imagine how hard they would have pushed him if he came out when Floyd was fighting.
What about Loma's shoulder though?
Fuck his shoulder, bruh. I sold him the same salt water I sold Manny Pacquiao for his, bruh. Loma washed up. I told y'all that was a cash out fight. They probably wanted it to be more, but because of the situation we in, he had to take the money he can get. But otherwise, if he was what he said he was, Bob would have no problem matching him up with fighters from other promo companies, but he's not. He gonna keep it in-house so that way he can push Tio, the new young Mexican-American star, like he did before. So many times, bro. Come on now, y'all. Come on, get on the train, bro, before it's leaving. 2-2.
Lomanchenko, if he fought Mikey Garcia at 135 before the Tio fight, what would have happened?
Knockout.
That's an open question. Who said that? Why you say that?
Mikey knock him out because Lomachenko does everything. And what Teofimo didn't do, when he does that pivot, all you got to do is throw that punch to a spot and you'll clip his ass. He going in the same direction. Instead of stepping out instead of Tio was just pivoting with him. If he just shorted that pivot up and then threw a straight right hand, let
him out. Laid
him out.
Does anyone pick Lomachenko? Anyone pick Lomachenko to beat Mikey if they would have fought at 35?
No. Hell no.
Man, I think Mikey would have leaned him.
Mikey
rock with him.
Rock with
it. Watch this. Mikey went into survival mode versus Spence. When you called out Spence, you said, I see a fall. He's left-handed too. Loma's left-handed. Don't get me wrong. When Mikey first got in there, he had a good game plan. It didn't work. But Loma's not Spence.
The thing I think is interesting too is they both started in the same weight class, Lomachenko and Mikey Garcia. Yet Mikey, even though I didn't think he would beat Errol Spence, and I was accurate with that prediction, the thing is, Mikey at least tried for it. You know what I'm saying? He at least went after that. They telling Lomachenko to move back down in weight. They saying, hey, it's too dangerous up here. You guys, there's too many killers. Go back down in weight. But Mikey up here fighting at 47, and they want him to fight 40-pounders and stuff. Lomachenko, I don't think could fight in the 140s. His record would really start having blemishes if he fought over 140. Like if he fought Pacquiao at 140, Mikey, if you fought Errol Spence or Bud at any of those weights, you know what I'm saying? So it's like Lomachenko, they've been protecting.
Here you go. Can I ask a question?
Hold on, Ari was jumping in, and then I'll get back to you. Ari.
No, what I was saying was they were already laying the tracks for the excuses before the fight, because they kept saying, "Oh,
railroad
is the size gonna matter?" Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the railroad tracks before for the excuses. You know, they were talking about, "Oh, is the size gonna make a difference?" and all this and this and that. So they were already making excuses, and then the whole videos of the surgery and all that is just it's like I've been saying it. It's pathetic, man. They just got to let it go. You know, they're talking about the shoulder injury. Now, you know, Teofimo neutralized him for 7 rounds. And then Loma had those 8, 9, 10, and 11 rounds, which he did win. But you didn't see anything wrong with his shoulders. He fought great. You know, why? Because he let his hands go. You know, Teofimo was like, okay. But then in the 12th round, we saw Teofimo bite down and brought the heat back right to him and beat him. So I don't want to hear any excuses about his shoulder. It's just and the size.
It's pathetic.
Real talk.
Listen,
Stacks got a question.
Mayweather was beating up guys that were bigger than him. Pacquiao was beating up guys that were bigger than him. So I don't want to hear anything about size.
Great
That's what
comparison.
greats do.
No.
I mean, all of them did.
Give Mike
a question.
Hold on.
Before you go to this question,
I got to get Stacks because he was next.
go ahead, Stacks. Go ahead, Jake.
I give Mikey credit for moving up to 147 to fight Errol. They're like, yo, but you wasn't gonna win that fight. Errol's a skilled boxer. But this is my question. At 135, this is my question. 135, who wins? Loma or Broner?
Broner will stop. I think he might stop messing around. I know that sounds crazy to people listening that don't know ish about boxing. I think Broner was a problem at 130 and 135. Man, you know, AB. And people say, oh, Broner doesn't let his hands go, and they get caught up in this stuff.
Algebra books.
Let his hands go up on Lomachenko. And Lomachenko, the thing that I knew, but it was proven in the Teofimo fight, one-trick pony. I told you guys that on the last Zoom, one-trick pony. People take that offensively, like, oh, it's one-trick pony, like it's a negative. I'm not saying it like he's a bad fighter. I'm saying he has one mode, one thing that he does. Like even Golovkin, I think he's a kind of like a two-trick pony. Golovkin will walk you down and melt you and hurt you. If he cannot do that, he gets on his jab. And that works for him because you're going to meet one of the fates or you got to beat him and outbox him or whatever. So I think this sounds crazy to some. I think Golovkin is harder to beat than Lomachenko because you have to deal with Golovkin's menacing power or his jab, you know, if the power doesn't work. Lomachenko, once you start, like Sura said, if you get a couple steps ahead of him, he only really had that one mode. It took him very long and he doesn't have shocking power to me.
You avoided the question though. Who wins?
No, I didn't. I said I would have picked Broner. I would have picked
130, 135. Who wins? Broner versus Loma. I want everybody to answer it.
Broner by stoppage.
I think Broner stopped him.
Broner beat him. Broner will stop him at 135. Broner would have stopped him.
Broner's power was snappy. Like he destroyed Antonio DeMarco. Bro, listen.
Broner would press him, bro. Broner would press him. That's what people. Broner would walk him down. Broner got a good body attack that people don't give him credit for. Listen, Broner didn't get stopped by Maidana at welterweight. His second fight at welterweight. Sean Porter didn't stop him, and Broner dropped Sean Porter. Guys like the first man to drop Sean Porter.
Yes. Who Broner fought Maidana, didn't get stopped. Paulie Malignaggi, he's not the biggest puncher.
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao and Sean Porter. None of them dudes stopped him. There's no way Lomachenko would have stopped Broner. So he's gonna have to outbox him. But Broner had that snappy power. I think Broner would get him. I think Crawford, Broner, Lomachenko got to 35 after Broner and Crawford left the division. If he was in the division all at the same time, it'd be hard. That's why they don't want to see Loma at 140, because even guys like Regis Prograis, he ain't gonna get stopped by Lomachenko. So, and you got to deal with Regis's power. It's just different when you're fighting bigger guys, man. And you don't really have a way around that.
Ego.
I mean, do you even think, like, if he moves back down, I don't even know if he gets past Burchell. I think,
man, Burchell is big as hell, bro.
Right. Like, I don't even know if he gets past Burchell. I just think the book is out on Loma, as everybody said earlier. Thanks. And there's really no path forward for him. So he might as well retire.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I mean, how do you glorify 16? What's his record? 16-2? Or 14-2. 14. That's even worse. Bro. You have 14 wins and 2 losses. How can you make that sound like appealing?
Greater than Ali, bro. This is what they were saying.
Tatiana Ali from Fresh.
Right. Bro, is this your king? Is this your king, Paulie Malignaggi?
14-2. Come on.
Like, game. Is this your king?
Yeah. I think Loma's good, but it's just he's 32. He's complaining about the shoulder. Where do you really go?
Loma's a great fighter, but I'm gonna go to the next one. Like we all said, Broner, Easter, who lost the Mikey, but we all said would beat Loma. Easter versus Loma.
I don't know, because Easter don't always fight tall. Easter he's a little bit more unpredictable.
I got Easter by knockout.
Damn.
I got Easter by knockout.
He might outbox Easter to keep it a buck with you.
I think I
don't know about that one. I don't know.
I think Loma.
But Easter can hit hard.
Easter
got hit by Comey. Easter knocks out Loma.
Work Wednesdays because we talk about real boxing. So I again, like, yo, Easter versus Loma. I'm gonna pick Easter if he fights tall. If he fights small like he fought Mikey, Easter's gonna lose.
All right, what were you saying?
No, I was saying, like, Easter. When Robert Easter fought Javier Fortuna gave him hell, and Javier Fortuna is a southpaw, just like Loma. So on that fight, I think I will pick Loma just because of the southpaw, and he's, slick. Obviously, Javier Fortuna is a much more aggressive fighter in terms of fights dirty, and is gonna get in there. But that'll be a good fight. But I don't see them making that fight happen.
Bro, now that you brought Fortuna up, I think Lomachenko versus this is what they're begging Lomachenko to move back down. If Lomachenko fought Javier Fortuna at 135, where they're at, or if he fought that Nakatani, that Japanese dude that gave Teofimo, like, where he didn't look the greatest, those are extremely difficult bounce back fights for Lomachenko. Really hard bounce back. And if the odds are right, I might even bet on the other dudes, bro. That Japanese dude was tough. Javier Fortuna is rough. That'll be a tough night for Loma.
They got Fortuna by strangulation.
Yeah, he got to go, man.
Ricky Williams, you called it. That's absolutely he don't have many options.
He waited. Like I said, man, you didn't go pro for a reason, bro. He didn't go pro for a reason. You're a boxer. That's where the money at. You're a prize fighter, not an Emmy fighter for your life. You a lifetime student, bro. You in college for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You know how you see them girls, they lifetime students and shit? No,
but
bro.
Listen, I said it. Lomachenko at 135 is food. At 130, Burchell's a dog, and Shakur Stevenson would just beat the shit out of him. So he might as well retire, or hopefully he could make 126. Because at 130, 135, if they put him up there with any real fighters, he's gonna lose again. Because the blueprint is out on him.
Yeah, it's a road.
This is why a long time ago, when Mikey Garcia was at 135, Robert Garcia said to himself, look, I know some guys at Top Rank, and they don't want to put Loma against Mikey because they know what would happen. And we know what would happen. So that's why they never wanted to make
Remember,
that fight. And
I remember that interview.
on my streams, I said clever Lomachenko, clever matchmaking. They matched him well, like Nicholas Walters, which is a name, and he has power, and he beat Donaire by stoppage, but they waited till he was coming off a draw, and they starved him out from fights, so he didn't have no activity. Meanwhile, Lomachenko was fighting Rocky Martinez and stuff like that, so he was active, and that's the guy they were pushing to win, and they caught. That's what they do. I know fighters personally. Sometimes they'll call a fighter with 2-3 weeks to train and say, hey, fight this guy. And that fighter could beat that guy, but under 2 weeks, 3 weeks training, and this other person's in shape, your odds go way down. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the clever matchmaking is. Like when they want you to lose, they stack the deck against you as much as they can. Now, the final question, and we'll revisit next week after Gervonta, Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, great Showtime pay-per-view. Kell Brook, he got a lot of stuff going on. He found his trainer on Instagram, and Kell Brook is no longer working with Eddie Hearn. Can he give Terence Crawford any problems?
you find him on Instagram, bro?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I think it gives some problems. I think Kell can give him some problems because of his experience. He knows how to box. He knows how to fight. He's been there before. Having a new trainer this leads me to believe that I don't believe that he'll win the fight. But I think that he knows enough and he can do enough to go in there and test Bud, and Bud will have to actually go into his own bag of tricks to win this fight, because it ain't a lot of people that's beating Kell Brook.
May I
you got
interject?
Triple G, you got Triple G and Earl, and that's it.
I agree with what Tank just said. I think, and I said it before, if Kell Brooks is healthy, he will definitely give Crawford a tough fight. I don't see him winning the fight, but I think for this first 7 or 8 rounds, it could be very interesting. I definitely have Crawford winning that fight, either by late stoppage, or decision. But I think a healthy Kell Brook could give Crawford some good work in the first half of the fight.
2 more opinions, Brook, Crawford.
I think if it goes past 5, I think Kell will be dangerous for the first 5 rounds. Then after that, he's going to gas out like he did with pretty much with Earl. Then put him to sleep.
He got 3 rounds, bro. He got 3 rounds. Yo, Bud been working for the last 7 months, bro. Bud been working for he got 3 rounds. He already laying the groundwork for the excuses, bro. He ain't with his trainer. Come on, man. You already know what it is, man. This is a setup fight, if anything. If he don't get Bud, it take Bud about 3 to 4 rounds to warm up, bro. Bud about to tell this dude, like I said, what my original opinion was, I know Kell Brook's a good fighter. He's one of the best fighters from across the water, but he's at a severe disadvantage. He hasn't been training consistently. He's the weight changes. We all know, when was the last time he fought at 147, right? So he already gonna be hungry as hell. He got 3 rounds to catch Bud with something. And if not, Bud gonna eat his lunch, plain and simple, man. If it goes, and I see Bud stopping him, he might break both his eyes this time. Shit, who knows?
Yo, wow, that's crazy you said that, because Bud is actually ambidextrous. You said he might break both his eyes, and Bud really be switch hitting. So, that is a susceptibility, you know what I'm saying, that Kell Brook has. Who was that? Somebody was jumping in?
Yeah, this was me. I just think it's a lose-lose for Bud, right? Because just what Ricky was saying, he's got 3 rounds, and then you figure he's going to be out of there. But look, if he can push it to the later rounds, like the 7th, 8th round, still lose, I think that's a loss for Bud, in the sense that, look, everybody else got him quick. What, Errol did it in 6, right? Broke his eye socket in 6 rounds.
No,
that was a little.
No, it was like 11 or 10.
11. All right, that
11.
defeats my entire hypothesis. But if Bud doesn't knock this dude out and look spectacular, I think it's a loss for Bud, because we know he's been inactive. He's been fighting above his weight, above the 147 limit. I just think Bud needs to go out there and put on a show, knock him out quick, knock him out early. Because other than that, then it's like, then you're getting into the decision about, oh man, is Bud better than Earl? Then Errol's like, I'm taking your spot. you know, then you go down that path. So I think he just knows Buddy's going there and knock him out earlier. There's going to be some.
Let me end it, Eagle. Let me end it. Let me end it today.
All right.
What I'm gonna say is, Bud is a great fighter, but Kell Brook is a great fighter. But Kell Brook has so much shit stacked against him right now. Like, I don't got my normal trainer. This, that. He's doing a cash out. But if Bud doesn't win this fight by stoppage, I don't care when it happened. If he don't win it by stoppage, it's like, yo, you didn't do anything. Kell Brook has been broken since the fucking Triple G fight. And then you got in there with a young, hungry lion, which is Spence, and he did the same thing to you the other way. Bud is a great fighter, but Bud wants that Spence fight. And you're not going to get that Spence fight being on Top Rank. Because guess what? I'm not fucking up my money, being who I am, fighting you, dealing with these people. Bud will never get a Spence fight or a Spence fight, a Porter fight, a Garcia fight, anybody fight that's on PBC being with Top Rank. Your contract ended and you renewed. Like, yo, to me, that's still running. Canelo runs from everything. You're running because you could have easily left there and went to fucking PBC and you can go through the gauntlet that they go through. I don't care what weight class it is, they go through a gauntlet. Every fight sets up the next fight. If y'all both win, you're not doing it. You don't want to be there. So you really don't want to fight these people. You talk your shit because you want a big money fight. But guess what? You're not going to get it.
All right. Now, I said that was the last question. This is really the last question. Speed round. Literally in a minute, I need to hear from y'all. So y'all got to make this work. Should the Charlos be on the pound for pound top 10 list? A lot of people are disrespecting the Charlos, in my opinion.
Hell yes.
Not putting them on. Should the Charlos, one of them, both of them, should be on the pound for pound list? Yes or no, and why? Quick, a minute.
They should both be on there. What you call it? Got 3 belts. Mel got 3 belts, and Maul beat the man that beat Triple G. So
Triple D. He talking about some breastises. Listen, my man Sarah, he all in the. Hey,
my nigga watching Total Recall.
Breastises.
Oh, he said the 3 boos from Total Recall.
Might as well call him Triple B. He a bum, triple bum.
Oh wow, Triple A batteries. All right.
Yes, both Charlos should be on the list. If they have Teofimo up there, like you said, with 3 belts, Jamel has done that in a more impressive division against more impressive competition.
And against, he's had a more impressive division. I like that.
And Jamal should be on there also instead of Triple G because he just beat the guy who Triple G fought last, and Triple G hasn't fought in a year. So and also he moved up a weight class to do it. So by definition, for me, that's his skills transition from one weight class to another, so he should be on there.
Of course, they should be on.
I think both of the Charlo brothers should be on the pound for pound list. Triple G and Loma shouldn't be on there, and cheating ass Fury shouldn't be on the pound for pound list.
He took
so
people
they should definitely
off.
be in the.
I said, Ari, you taking people off the list. You
They
said
both
Triple
should
G,
be
Loma,
on there. Ego.
and Fury is a cheater, so he took them off the list and added the Charlo.
I'm putting both Charlos on the list. Fury, Usyk, and fucking Loma's off the list. And
is Triple G on the?
To be off. He's gone.
Ricky,
I beat Gervonta better than you beat him. Way better than you beat him. I beat him better than Danny Jacobs beat him. I'm on the list. I got fucking 3 belts, 4 belts, whatever. And then I'm on the list. The Charlos are underrated, and then motherfuckers is better than what people. So but I'm happy that they're not on the list because it makes them fight harder.
Ricky Williams, take us out.
Of course, they should be on the list, but they're black.
Easy Work Wednesdays. Appreciate you guys.
BBC.
I don't know what you just said, but appreciate your time. Thank you guys. Easy Work Wednesdays. Make sure you smash the like button. I'll be back after that tank fight with Leo Santa Cruz next week. Same time, same bat channel. Peace out, y'all.
Yes, sir.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.